Hello, I'm Ed Hess. I'm co-author of the new book, Humility is the New Smart, Rethinking Human Excellence in the Smart Machine Age. I want to take 15 minutes today and share with you what our book is about. And let me start with the why. Why did we write this book? We wrote this book because we as a country, as a nation, as a world are on the edge of a technology tsunami. Technology, artificial intelligence, deep learning, advanced robotics, nanotechnology, biotechnology, virtual reality, the Internet of Things, all of those things which I lump together and we call the smart machine age, that is coming at a fast pace. And it is going to be a disruptive for our society and for you and for me, as the Industrial Revolution was for our ancestors. And what do I mean by that? We're talking about the risk of major job displacement. The best research out there that is done at Oxford University predicts in the next 5 to 15 years that there's a high probability that 47% of the U.S. workforce will be replaced by technology. McKinsey says today technology can do 45% of the tasks that's being done by us. The Bank of England, based on the Oxford research, says that they're predicting that in the next decade and a decade or two, 80 million U.S. jobs are going to be lost. That is huge. That's going to change the whole concept of work. Who works and what will workers be needed to do? What jobs can technology not do well? And those jobs, there's a consensus on that. No one disagrees. Higher order critical thinking, innovative thinking, creativity, and high emotional engagement between you and me. High emotional engagement with humans. You said, okay, I can do those things. Well, not so fast. The problem is we don't naturally do those things well. We are not naturally excellent at doing those things. And that's the standard that's going to be in the smart machine age. Good is no longer enough. We've got to excel at doing what technology can't do well. And that means, okay, because creative thinking, innovative thinking, and critical thinking are iterative learning processes, we're going to have to excel also at managing ourselves and overcoming our ego and our fear. Now, we humans are basically going to be in a frantic foot race to stay relevant. So what is our book about? It's how you and I stay relevant. It's based on multidisciplinary research across psychology, science, behavioral economics, business research, adult learning research. It's based on, we synthesized over 600 leading academic articles and over 100 leading books, and research, field research, and looking at companies that are on the leading edge of what I call human development, creating environments and putting in place processes where humans can excel at critical thinking and innovative thinking and excel at collaboration and making meaning together, such as Pixar, Google, Bridgewater Associates, and the Navy SEALs. Our book is a story about human excellence in the smart machine age. It's a how-to book with processes, checklists, templates, a diagnostic for you to take. And we give you a methodology in how to improve how you think, listen, relate, and collaborate. The behaviors that underline the smart machine age skills. The how starts with a new mindset. We want to create a new mindset which makes it easier for us to excel at doing those things. Iterative learning comes from making mistakes. And the first thing we've got to do is create a new definition of what it means to be smart. I expect all of us grew up in a system, in an educational system, at least in the United States, where smart was based on your grades. And what did you have to do to get the best grades? You had to get the most answers right. Or put it another way, you didn't make mistakes. Being smart was a quantity grade. Being smart was a quantity concept. Well, ladies and gentlemen, no one is going to know more than a smart machine. A smart machine will know more, have a better memory, and retrieve it faster, and can do more things with that information faster than we can. So we need a new definition of success that enables critical thinking, innovative thinking, creativity, and human engagement. And we call that New Smart. And here's the difference. New Smart is not a quantity-based definition of smart, it's a quality. It is you evaluate yourself on the quality of your thinking, listening, relating, and collaborating. The goal is to increase the quality each time of those activities. And as we say in the book, old smart is the new stupid. Now, in the book, based on philosophy and science, we have presented, if you will, some principles called New Smart Principles. So first we got a new definition of smart, New Smart. Underlying them is 5 principles. They have 2 purposes: to enable us to think better, collaborate better, listen better, and to manage our ego and our fears. Instead of being a closed operating system where we basically process information which we already fit our mental models, that we are, instead of being a confirmation bias thinkers, instead of being emotionally defensive, we're sort of like a closed system. We don't want to let anything in that disagrees with us or makes us look bad. We've got to basically learn how to engage the world with an open system, constantly evaluating and changing our beliefs, not our values. We've got to embrace change and volatility. And those 5 principles are: number 1, I am not defined. That's so important. My ego, I'm not all wrapped up. I'm not defined by what I know or how much I know, but by the quality of my thinking, listening, relating, and collaborating. That's the linchpin. That frees us. That liberates us. My mental models are not reality. They're only my generalized stories of how my world works, because everyone has different mental models. That's why diversity is so important, because people will see things that you can't see. Number 3, I am not my ideas, and I must decouple my beliefs, not my values. I'm not talking about values, my beliefs from my ego. That allows me to be more open-minded. That allows me to stress test my beliefs. That allows me to really listen to people who disagree with me. And I must be open-minded and treat my beliefs as hypotheses, to be constantly tested and subject to modification by better data. That is what dataism is all about, and that's what technology is all about. And lastly, in order to learn, to innovate, to create, my mistakes are not failures. They're opportunities to learn. Those are the 5 principles, and those principles are sort of the underpin, the new way of thinking that we believe that all of us have got to grasp in order to stay relevant in the smart machine age. Now, we've got the type of skills we need to be able to do. We got New Smart. We got the principles. How do we get started? Well, we think the gateway, the platform, is humility. And I know that some of you are going to say, humility. I'm not talking about meekness, submissiveness, or thinking less of yourself. In our book, we base humility on the psychological and philosophical concept of not being so self-absorbed, defensive, or fearful. We seek to be self-accurate. It's not all about me. And that enables us to embrace the world as it is, not as we want it to be, as it is. Humility enables best listening, open-mindedness, seeking out different opinions, being data-driven decision makers, empathy, collaboration, and lifelong learning. Humility enables the constant upgrading of our cognitive and emotional operating systems. Then we go to 4 new smart behaviors: quieting your ego, managing yourself, managing your thinking and managing your emotions, reflective listening, and otherness. And your immediate reaction, I know, because I've used this material in consulting with over 1,000 managers and leaders, is, hey, Ed, that's simple. Not so simple. The concepts are simple, but like many things, the difficulty is in the rigorous, daily, excellent execution. Quieting our ego basically is how you operationalize humility. Managing your thinking. How do you think? Think about that for a moment. Some people have told me, stuff pops in my mind. Well, we're talking about thinking in a deliberate way, slowing our automatic ways down and deliberately thinking. And we give you tools and checklists, and we show you and help you slow down to deliberately think with questions, etc., to use that help you think better. Now, emotions. Do you sense your emotions? Can you label your emotions? Can you manage your emotions? Can you reframe your emotions? Well, we use the best science to show you how to do that. Reflective listening. Really in the moment, non-judgmental, open-minded listening to learn, not to confirm. That's the number 2 behavior that most people have to work on based on our research. Now I want to focus on otherness. Emotionally connecting and relating to others. Why is that important? Because we cannot think at our highest levels critically and innovatively by ourselves. We can't take our thinking to the highest level by ourselves. We need others. In order to have others, we have to be able to connect and relate with others. And we have to be able to do that in a way that shows that we care about them, and that builds trust. Because we're only going to help each other reach the highest level if we trust each other. And that occurs also by feeling psychologically safe, that you're trying to help me improve my thinking, not trying to make me look bad. The key here again is execution. In Chapter 8, we give you a new SMART behaviors assessment tool. We take those new SMART behaviors. We basically break them down into subcomponent parts, sub-behaviors. And there's a multiple page diagnostic to rate yourself. Once you rate yourself, what did you learn? What are the areas that you need to work on? And we then, using the best science of deliberate practice, we give you a methodology how to begin your journey to excellence, how to work on those things, how to improve, how to measure yourself daily, how to seek others' help. And we hope you will walk away with a personal behavioral improvement plan that puts you on your journey. That Chapter 8 by itself is the opportunity, and we invite you. Begin your journey to become a champion thinker, listener, relator, and collaborator. Take your thinking game to a higher level. Excel at dataism. And the last chapter in the book looks at it from an organizational viewpoint. What's the organization of the future look like? What does leadership in the smart machine age look like? Well, technology is going to become integral to every business function. Businesses are going to be staffed, operated, and managed by some combination of smart robots, smart machines, and humans. Business excellence is going to be technology excellence plus human excellence. That requires a different model of leadership. Command and control doesn't work in the smart machine age because you can't command and control critical thinking or creativity or innovation or high emotional engagement. You need a model of business that enables new smart behaviors and skills, the pursuit of human excellence. To do that, you need a culture that's going to mitigate ego and fear, a culture of candor, permission to speak freely, an idea of meritocracy, based on data-driven decision-making. Emotional intelligence is important. And it's this concept of otherness that we talked about in the new smart behaviors. Teams win, individuals lose. Now, the interesting thing is that technology is going to dehumanize business. And you say, well, how? It's going to reduce the human headcount. But technology is also going to require businesses to become much more humanistic. They're going to have to become people-centric. They're going to have to become a positive emotional environment that meets mine and your needs for self-determination. They're going to have to be psychologically safe environments so that mitigates ego and fear. In the smart machine age, what's going to become as powerful as the cognitive aspect is the power of emotions. The myth of Mr. Spock will be dead. Mr. Spock, the person who didn't like emotions, is not going to work well in the smart machine age. And what's going to be important in this smart machine age is that we take our cognitive and our emotional muscles and train them like a champion daily using rigorous processes to basically prevent us reverting back from our natural automatic ways of behaving. And in going through this last chapter, we feature two outstanding companies that basically are on the leading edge of this: Pixar Animated Studios and Google. At the end of this chapter, we got a new smart organizational assessment tool. So we invite you. We invite you to explore our book. We invite you to join us on the journey of human excellence in the smart machine age. Thank you very much.